Hi, Inderes TV viewers and listeners. Today we're going to talk about Elliptic Labs, and we're interviewing company CEO Laila Danielsen. Laila, good to have you talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Laila, you're a new face on Inderes TV. Could you briefly introduce yourself before we move on to Elliptic Labs?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am originally from Norway, but I've been living the past 30 years in Silicon Valley. I kicked off my career, literally, I kicked it off being a professional soccer player, or now we're in Europe, so I have to say football player in Japan, and then back into the US that I continue playing. And then from there, I went into tech and I've started 3 companies in Silicon Valley in the past that I built up and sold. And here at Elliptic Labs, I've been the CEO for the past 11 years.
All right, so you've taken the move from grass fields to tech field, I would say.
Exactly. That's very good. Yeah.
So about Elliptic Labs, could you briefly talk about the company, what you do to people who might not know the company in advance?
Absolutely. So we do AI software. We have a type of sensing capability. I'll talk a little bit about customer first. We sell directly to smartphone customers and laptop customers. And initially, we started out by delivering software that replaced hardware sensors for various capabilities. So I'll just give one example that a functionality that we have deployed in over 500 million devices. You know, when you are on a phone call, the screen turns on. And when you take this phone up to the air, the screen turns off or the display is off. And then you put it away from the air, the screen is on again. But that is a physical proximity sensor. Hardware sensor was initially starting to be used. We replaced that with 100% software, using machine learning, using the components that were on the device, as well as ultrasound. So to take that a little bit, the next step is basically on the standard microphone and speaker would send out an ultrasound signal. It would, when you have the phone up, it would hit your cheek. Obviously you can't hear this because it's up in a high frequency, bounces back, sound bounces back, and then our algorithm says, turn off, turn on. So we take that same underlying capability, and we move that over to the PC space as well. And we did the same with presence detection. So when you're sitting in front of a laptop, we can turn on and off the display based on if you're in front of the PC or not. That's good for power consumption reduction, and is also good for security. Then we continue taking that underlying technology because we have tremendous expertise in machine learning, understanding sensors, understanding the whole software stack. So we moved that further up. And last year we launched another product with Lenovo, the largest PC manufacturer in the world, a functionality where you can take an Android phone, an Apple phone with any type of pictures or files. And if you want to transfer that over, you can very simply just take the phone, tap it next to the PC screen, and then it will pop up, and then you can decide if you want to move it over or not. So true sort of seamless interoperability. And that was known in the market as the app airdrop killer. And so how we work directly with all these smartphone OEMs. So we have 10 smartphone customers in China. And then also we work with Lenovo is the official PC manufacturer we work with, but we also work with other PC manufacturers. So very scalable type of technology.
Right. Yeah, you clearly seen interest for the solutions you have in the market with all of these hardware producers coming in on board. And you're obviously running a growth strategy. It's still you're expanding with your software, expanding to new customers. But could you describe a bit around their strategy and what kind of priorities have you set? Where are you putting focus in, and what are you sort of choosing not to do right now?
Yeah. So our core focus is that we will continue to expand with our current customers. So I'll just explain like a little bit about our business model. So last year we had a tremendous growth here. We grew our revenue with nearly double our revenue. We grew it with 93%. We were 232 million NOK, and we were EBITDA positive with 25 million NOK. So, and just in Q4, we grew our revenue with over 400%. while we kept our total operation cost at less than 5%. So we have a very scalable model, and this is and how we are charging for our software is that we charge a price per unit device that they're selling. So if they sell 10 million, we price they have to pay a license fee for every single a unit that they're shipping. So the key for us is that if I look at last year, we grew our revenue with the smartphone manufacturer with 2.5 times, and we will continue to expand with our current customers. Last year was also the first time we sold multiple products per device. So for example, with Lenovo here, we had we call these products that we're selling like virtual sensors. So we sold 2 virtual sensors, one virtual human presence detection sensor, and then we call this other sensor virtual tap sensor, where you're tapping to do the interoperability. So we have multiple products per device. So our focus is continue growing with our smartphone customers, and they keep growing, and then also continue growing with our current PC manufacturer, and even we work so close with the customer, so we're looking also to deliver new products as well as adding on new customers. So overall, I'll give just a little bit number. Last year we launched with 66 smartphone models and 15 laptop models. That is 1/3 of all the total models we have done historically, which means that even with this tremendous scale this year, we don't have to increase our cost base because our platform is extremely scalable. So our focus is continue working with a smartphone customer. And I don't know if you heard this recently. This is kind of funny. Not funny, but this is interesting. This year, so last year, if I look at the smartphone market as a whole, the whole market grew 7%. The Chinese OEMs, our customer base, grew 13%. This year, the Chinese government is subsidizing smartphones sales in China by giving a 15% discount to Chinese smartphone manufacturers. But that happened in the mid of January. And guess what happened? Right before the Chinese New Year, the last 2 weeks of January, the volume of sales in the smartphone market spiked 67%. So, we will continue to grow with our customers. We will add on to more models. We will continue to grow both in the smartphone and the PC. And that's our core focus now is that really capitalize on this hard work we have done to build up this our AI virtual smart sensor platform.
Right. And I guess it's fair to say that your focus is in these segments particularly, so smartphones and PC, and those are the ones you put most effort in.
Yeah, because last year also we signed a contract with also for device interoperability for accessories, and several of our customers. This was with Lenovo, and Lenovo has laptops. They have some smartphone that we're also working with them on, but they have lots of accessories. So it's a great way to sort of also expand into new market, go with the current customers where you have established relationship, where you have established contract, and then also move into other departments. And we have opportunities like that also with, if you look at the company like Xiaomi, they sell lots of accessory, like Honor, that is now planned to go public in China. Also lots of accessory. So we focus on these markets because they're big. Each of the customers are big. Lenovo is a $60 billion company, and they also have lots of other products that we can move into.
Right. You touched upon this already, but 24 obviously was a strong year for you, lots of growth, and also your operating profit went to the positive numbers in H2. If you think about the year, obviously many good things out there, but was there something you would have wanted to do more in, or are you super happy with everything?
I have to say I am incredibly happy with what we have been able to deliver I I don't look that much backwards, but I'm very happy with what we deliver. I mean, if you have nearly doubled the growth, really breaking this, really sort of demonstrating your business model. I can't really, I don't have any sort of particular things to complain about. Our team has done a great job. So I think we should sort of pat ourselves in the back with those type of numbers, and then, but there are lots of other opportunities that we are working on, and I want to, it was very important last year that we demonstrated that our technology is scalable, that our business model is scalable, and what we have learned, and we have built a solid foundation for continuous growth. What I'm extra excited about is that we are now, and this was one thing we really want to establish last year, that our customer view us as AI experts. So we have our own neural network, our own platform that we have built, where we can put models, tiny models, on the device. So AI on the edge, as my one calls it, and we can do that. But we can, and that is very hard, but we can also move further up on the software chain. So we see that our customer now are coming to us and they're like, wow, you guys are so good. And we really trust you because we have deployed you, like, I mean, Lenovo, 2022, we closed for one model. Now we're at 41 model total. So they want to expand with us broadly. We see our smartphone customers the same. But they also want to move further up in the software stack because you have all these other large language models out in the market. You have like from OpenAI, you have from Llama, you have from DeepSeek. But our customer needs help to build their own functionalities around these models. And we can also help them there. And we're already with these customers. So this is super exciting for us. And I think the foundation we have established last year, we are in a perfect position to continue having good growth going forward.
Right. I guess within smartphones, you have quite a few customers already, and you've shown that you're able to expand within them. And within PCs in Lenovo, you've also shown the same. Once you get in, you're in and you're expanding. But on the PC side, you're quite reliant on Lenovo so far. How are you thinking about adding new PC OEMs, and what is the challenge in the beginning of the relationship when you're trying to get in and trying to get them to understand the technology and expand? How does that dynamic work, and how are you planning on getting into more PC OEMs?
The first customer in a new market is always the hardest one, for sure. And and as you pointed out, like once we are in, I mean, I keep saying that we are like a dog on a dog bone. When we're first in with a customer, we're in to stay and we are growing. And of course, for us, it's been very important to expand broadly with Lenovo. But note that we are working with other customers, and the sort of the little frustrating part for us is that there's a lot of information I cannot share in general, because everything we do is very confidential for the customer's sake. But the market itself for PC there's been a lot of reorg and shuffling. But I can rest assured that we are working with several other PC manufacturers, and they have to control when they want to launch. And I can't say sort of specific. I can only say that we have signed, enterprise license agreement with some commitment of some licenses. But when they launch is up to the customer. It's interesting because it's not interesting, but this part of the challenge, I have to admit, in this market, just sort of communicating out to our investors, is that yes, I'm talking about the business model, I'm talking about the launches, but if I just look at this year we have shipped on 8 laptops with Lenovo. So over half, if we're only in February, over half than we did last year. However, I could only officially announce 2 of the laptops because that was Lenovo's strategy. So I can sort of speak about it here that we have shipped on more, but I couldn't go out on Business Wire and social media and be like, oh yeah, we also on these 6 other laptops. I don't have that permission. So when we're working with other OEMs, they're very sensitive in what they are planning to launch, when, and so forth, because they're all keeping an eye on each other.
Right. And how do you think about, in general, your strategy and what are the critical parts that you need to be successful in? Obviously, this expansion to new OEMs is going to be a part of it. And there you have to kind of play by the pace at which the customer is really ready to move. But what are the sort of critical points that you really have to get right to be successful in growing and keeping up the growth?
Yeah. So it's of course, if I look back in the beginning when we started replacing hardware sensor with software, it was a really big challenge. You replace something, a technology, a physical components that's doing one thing that's maybe been around for 20 years. That was extraordinarily difficult. And, it was more challenging than I expected to, admittedly. And so we were able to do that. But as we moved up the software chain stack, some of the solution that we have done has actually been easier for us to do because it's almost like we climbed these huge mountains and now we have a little hill so we can jog up, So what is important, very important to us to continue to having success is we have to keep delivering high performing quality products. That we will do. That is, and so you have to make sure that you're able to do that. And then it's also incredibly important to have extremely close relationship with the customer. And then, of course, using the underlying technology to innovate. And, we have us that are doing also business and product development. We're all in Silicon Valley. We work, also with the biggest partners in the world. For example, obviously on the PC, we work with Intel, we work with AMD, we work with Qualcomm, we work with NVIDIA to embed our technology. So all of these things are important. And also keeping an eye on what is happening in the market. So you can go in and be a thought leader with the customer. And they're really relying on us. Like you think like, okay, we rely on Lenovo. Lenovo really rely on us to be there to help them with new type of capability in regards to software, because that's not their expertise. That is our expertise. And then, of course, we continue to protect our technology with lots of patents. So I think overall our strategy and our business plan, it really, is working and is really starting to pay off, which is an example for what happened in 2024.
Right. And also doing all of this is going to take investments. You need to invest in product, you need to invest in sales and so on. Obviously, you reach the positive EBIT profitability, and so you have a bit more leeway to think about investments going forward. But let's put it this way. Obviously, you still have cash in the balance sheet, but if you were to have more, would you find use for it? How are you thinking of your sort of leeway to invest?
Yeah, no, I would say like with the capital we have now, we have the fundamental to really, support and being able to capital to make sure that we are hitting our growth trajectory. So I would say that we are doing well in regards to where our cash is and what we have in regards to resources, because that's one of the things, the beauty of the selling software. We work with a set customers. So if we are selling 1 million or 10 million, basically our cost is pretty much the same as we see it. It's like now when we are adding so many more models, I'm thinking we are discussing like, oh, maybe we need to have another project manager to help to facilitate all the projects. But there's so much, and we haven't stopped doing automation. We continue doing more automation as well, so we can free up more of our resources to do more R&D. So I think for now we are set with what we have in regards to capital to really fund our growth trajectory going forward.
So it doesn't feel like the capital you have right now would be a bottleneck on your growth path. Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah. Hey, in the end, of course, we're looking about the future, and you've discussed already quite broadly what you're going to focus on. But now, 25 in particular, what do you think are the major things for investors to look out for in Elliptic Labs? What are the key focus areas that you're trying to make progress on this year?
Yeah, I think it's important to, pay attention to, we have this like newsletters. We also have, LinkedIn, social media, and our regular OSE. Obviously, we are publicly listed at Oslo Stock Exchange. I can also say like our ticker is elabs.ol. And so it's important to keep attention when we are signing contracts. because we make announcement of that, and then also keep attention to when we are doing launch of the products, even though not all of them we cannot announce, but then listen to our quarterly reports. So, I think that's important those are the two elements or three elements that are important to follow, that look for our contract announcement, look for our launches, that, make sure that we're signing contract, but also we keep shipping products. I think those are important aspects to follow, because, frankly, we are a fairly young company on the Oslo Stock Exchange. But so far, we and I would say, like, looking at last year, we really had this like good breakthrough. So keep it, we're planning to keep this momentum. So giving attention to when we are launching products. When we are signing contracts and when we are launching these products that we are signed for. That's important to keep attention, keep your eye on.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much, Laila, for this conversation. And I wish you and the full Elliptic Labs team a great year 2025.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good day.